Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're jumping right into expression and exactly how feeling brings your voice to life. You know, if you're a brand new singer, finding your true authentic sound can kind of feel like putting together a giant puzzle. But today, we're looking at the ultimate missing piece that magically snaps all your vocal mechanics together.
So, let's start with a really common beginner frustration. Have you ever wondered why perfectly correct singing can sometimes sound, well, flat and robotic? You might be hitting all the right notes and your breath might be perfectly timed, but the music is just missing its engine. You hit every single mark, yet it feels lifeless. And no matter how much you try to manually tweak things, it just doesn't feel right. So why does that happen?
It happens because expression is where your voice becomes real communication. Think of a beautiful, top-of-the-line guitar playing nothing but standard scales. I mean, sure, it's impressive, but it doesn't actually move anyone until expression brings it to life. Your body, your breath, your vocal folds, those tiny muscles in your throat that buzz to make sound, they build the instrument. But expression is what that instrument is actually meant for. To really nail this down, let's look at the three main parts of expression, which have to work as one big team. First up is skill. Simply put, can your body do what you're asking it to do? Second is real feeling. Does your sound actually carry true emotion? And third is clear message. Does your listener totally get what you meant? We really need all three of these firing together, not just as isolated, clunky pieces, to create genuine expression.
Now, here's a huge pitfall. A lot of people think you learn the technique, memorize the song, and then just sprinkle some feeling on top at the very end, like frosting a cupcake. But actually, scratch that. True expression is more like a seed growing from the ground up. It's not about sprinkling feeling on top of a correct sound. It's about letting your natural, genuine response shape your singing from the very first breath. Feeling doesn't decorate your voice, it organizes it.
To put this into perspective, think of your feeling as the conductor of an orchestra. Instead of frantically running around trying to play the violin, the trumpet, and the drums all by yourself, which is exhausting and, let's be real, usually ends in panic, you let your true feelings step right up to the podium and lead the entire band. You've got so many tiny settings you can adjust when you sing, but if you let a real feeling lead, those settings just fall into place on their own. And this conductor is working an incredibly complex mixing board for you. Without you having to overthink it, your true feeling automatically sets your loudness, your brightness, your tone, and even the firmness of your vocal folds buzzing together. How? Through an incredibly powerful tool. Your nervous system. It instantly coordinates the whole shebang all at once, way faster than your conscious brain ever could. Now, I know this might sound a bit poetic or abstract, but it's actually hard science. Your feelings genuinely change your body in real, measurable ways. Because your feelings and your physical body are connected through that nervous system, these are automatic, biological responses. They are literally happening inside your throat and lungs before your conscious mind even has time to step in. Just think about how this plays out in everyday life. When you're scared, fear instantly shortens your breath. But joy opens your breath right up. Sadness physically slows your breathing down, while tenderness warms your tone and naturally opens your throat. You don't have to manually add these on afterward. Your body just does them when the feeling is real. When the feeling leads, the technique automatically follows.
So what does this mean for us? It means we need to completely flip the script on how we practice. Start with the feeling, not the rules. A lot of traditional teaching saves emotion for the final polish, but we want to turn that completely upside down. Let the feeling organize the singing right out of the gate, and then polish the details while keeping that core feeling alive.
Let's try a super practical example. Instead of doing a boring mechanical breathing exercise, try this intention. Sing this line as if you're comforting someone you love. If you try that specific intention right now, you'll probably notice your breath steadies and organizes all by itself. Why? Because your body perfectly understands this task. You give your body a clear job, and it figures out the rest. And that brings us to an absolutely beautiful truth about singing. Sincerity is way more efficient than control. When you honestly mean what you sing, your nervous system sets up your whole body for the absolute perfect sound before you even have a chance to think about technique. Your feeling isn't some extra layer on top of your voice. It's the core operating system that runs the whole thing. Now, don't get me wrong here, technique absolutely still matters. Practicing definitely makes you better. But think about the difference between a robotic arm doing bicep curls and two people exchanging a heartfelt gift. Technique for its own sake is just exercise, but technique serving your feeling, that is real communication. Mixing these two up is exactly where new singers get stuck. They build tons of mechanical control, but their singing stays totally lifeless.
So, how do we get into a state where we can truly express ourselves like that? Well, it requires something called presence. Presence is this grounded, alive, settled feeling of being fully there with your body, your voice, and your attention. It's the secret sauce for great expression. And spoiler alert, it's not about big, fake, showy confidence. It's actually a quiet, calm, centered state in your body.
And that sense of presence relies heavily on safety. Think about how your body's operating modes shift based on your environment. When you feel totally safe and connected, your breath drops in deep and your voice just opens up. But say you walk into an audition and you feel judged. Bam, your breath gets shallow and your muscles tighten. Your technique didn't suddenly break. Your nervous system just changed the operating conditions because it felt threatened. Which honestly is a massive relief to understand. If you feel your voice close up, or if your sound gets tight, that tightness is just feedback. It is not a failure. It's a super helpful biological signal from your body reminding you to recultivate a feeling of safety and connection to your message. Finding that calm isn't a distraction from your singing practice, it's literally a core part of the work. So when we connect all these dots, it becomes crystal clear that your voice operates as one big team, and feeling is the team captain. Expression organizes your whole voice. It doesn't just sit up there on top of your vocal mechanics. It reaches down and coordinates them all together so they can function flawlessly as one cohesive instrument.
Let's look at the 5 pillars of that team really quickly. Step 1 is expression, the feeling leading the way. Step 2 is body organization, your tall, easy spine. Step 3, breath mechanics, your air engine. 4 is phonation, your folds buzzing together. And 5, resonance, your throat shaping the tone. Notice how putting expression at step 1 naturally guides, aligns, and balances the other 4 physical pillars for you.
So what's our ultimate takeaway from all this? Stop managing your instrument and start saying something with it. Getting totally clear on what you actually want to communicate is hands down the fastest, most reliable way to free up your voice. Before you reach for a mechanical fix or try to forcefully shove your breath around, just clarify your meaning.
The next time your singing goes flat, feels stiff, or feels like a total chore, don't hunt for a mechanical fix. Ask yourself these 2 questions. Who are you singing this to? And what do you want them to feel? Give a completely genuine answer to those questions and watch how it reorganizes your breath and brings your voice back to life. It really makes you wonder, if you finally stopped trying to control your voice and just let it speak, what would it actually sound like?